Going to the doctor is a scary prospect for many different reasons. Now, imagine having to do that during the 1830s, when the doctor has a 300% mortality rate in one procedure. What the fuck? Hi everybody, welcome back to the Beaufort County Historical Library. Around the 1830s, visiting the doctor was a fairly harrowing experience. The anesthetics were still experimental, most prescribed procedures were, hey, let's cut that off, and the fact that medical procedures were ungodly expensive. Most people opted to just not go. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Not to mention the fact that doctors of the time weren't exactly known for their best bedside manner. Most doctors were trained in the same manner that other trades were, which is that kids were put into apprenticeships and learned the trade by assisting. When they were old enough, they were shoved out the door and told to make their own way. The idea of looking at patients as nothing more than just another job to be done was very prevalent. One such doctor told a woman that he was going to have to cut off one of her tits, then walked right out the door. The poor woman sat there, not sure what to do for a couple of days before he came back, showed her the knife he was going to use, and told her to get right with death. That's not a fucking exaggeration, those were his words. Being a nonconformist in this field, Robert Liston believed a lot of new and novel ideas. Ideas like treating your patient like people and not a block of wood. Getting operations done as soon as possible to keep the patient from experiencing too much pain. And keep it clean in the operating theater. The idea of a clean doctor in those days was laughable. Many people believed that a doctor should be covered in blood. Cleanliness in the medical field was typically laughed off as worries of prudes and hypochondriacs. A famous adage of the era was that a stiff apron means a proud doctor. Many doctors would go directly from dissecting a corpse to delivering a baby. Look up puerperal fever when you get a chance. As a matter of fact, it was typically a bad idea for doctors to even mention cleaning up, as it could get you kicked out of town. Even though Liston's mortality rate was 10% when the average of other doctors was around 19%, he was pushed out. Like when boomers talk about politics. Liston didn't have an issue with this, as he saw it as his chance to help those who really needed it. You see, Liston was seen as an abrasive and argumentative man, but he was also seen as unfailingly charitable to the poor and tender to the sick. He was known for doing everything that he could to help anyone that needed it. There was one time when Liston was visiting another doctor who happened to have a dead body pickling in whiskey for dissection later. Liston realized that not only did he know this woman as a recent murder victim, but noticed that her body was being used as a freak sideshow exhibit while it was being preserved. This pissed off Liston, who kicked the door in, beat the shit out of that doctor, and took the body to be properly buried. Which brings me to another feature of Robert Liston. That motherfucker was big! Yeah, the average height of people in 1830s England was around 5 foot 5 inches. Robert Liston stood at 6 foot 2. This was good for doctors, as it was very important to be strong, which he was. That way, a doctor had a better ability to hold their patients down while they worked. This made Liston a very popular doctor in the area. No matter the procedure, you knew that he would be the best man to handle you. Really? A manhandling joke? The other skill that Liston was known for was how fast he was at amputations. The man was known for being able to amputate a leg in 2.5 minutes. Some say that he was even able to complete a surgery in seconds, which is where Liston got his catchphrase, "Time me, gentlemen," which his students would. This wasn't just a matter of pride for him, though. Liston had the idea that the least amount of time on the operating table was good for the patient, as it reduced time in pain and offered more time in recovery. This led to Liston's one big fuck-up. And what a fuck-up it was. Liston had gotten so popular with his amputations that he became the embodiment of why operating rooms are called theaters. People would come from all around to watch him work. One such incident Liston was just cutting into his patient when he realized that he had cut off the finger of his assistant. When he realized this, he jerked back and snagged the scalpel on the coat of a spectator. While Liston didn't really stab the man, the idea of seeing a large bloody man sticking a scalpel into you scared the hell out of the spectator, and he died of a heart attack right there. Days later, the assistant and the patient both died of gangrene. This made it where Robert Liston is the only doctor to have a 300% mortality rate in one operation. Okay, just like with any other popular person in society, this is the one thing that he's known for. Not the fact that his average mortality rate was 10%, when the rest of the grody-ass, salty fuckhole doctors were hovering around 19%. No, not the fact that he invented isinglass sticky plaster, the bulldog forceps, and a style of leg splint that is still used today. No, not the fact that he was the first doctor to use anesthetics, and he did so successfully, nor that he went on to have a continually successful and lucrative career for the rest of his life. No, this one fuck-up is the thing that he'll be known for forever. Fuck English medical history. Robert Liston went on to have a very successful career as house surgeon in the Royal Infirmary of Edinburgh. He died of an aneurysm in 1847. He was laid to rest in Highgate Cemetery, where his funeral procession of 5 mourning coaches and 5 private carriages were met by 400 of his former students and around 200 others, including medical practitioners and former patients. But that one fuck-up is what we know him for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, why not give it a like to help us out with the algorithm? Given the nature of the show, we could really use it. To see more episodes, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss the next episode of History 10 What the Fuck.